Good evening. This is Maestro Quatella with a Dawn of War 2 Retribution Elite modcast. Today, we have a 3v3 on Calderis Refinery. Our first player is Mr. 187 playing as a Death Guard Plague Champion. This is a Chaos ranged hero. Starts out that way at least. Later on, you can get some melee weapons for him. He can also heal, repair, and build turrets. His first teammate is KillerJebus7 playing as the Grey Knight Bro Captain. Bro Captain is a tanky melee hero in Terminator armor, so he cannot be knocked down or suppressed. Very tanky early on, especially with some of his early warriors. Next up, we've got Broodwich. Broodwich playing as a Starbucks Techmarine. This is a Space Marine ranged hero. He has a gun for every occasion, and he can even get an axe later on. He can repair and build turrets. On the other team, we've got the Great Cornholio as another Plague Champion. Next up, we've got Praetorian Guard, although I'm 99.9% sure that this is actually Torpid, playing as the Commissar Lord. The Commissar Lord is a slightly tanky melee hero. He's got a free energy shield that he's using right now. He can also execute his own troops, makes them fight 100% harder. And then finally, we have Virus, Cheah18, playing as the Inquisitor. Inquisitor is a disabling and debuffing commander who can also do a little bit of melee tanking with certain warriors. Alright, multi-laser turret set up for Virus along with his Sentinel, going to give him a lot of staying power and a lot of ability to hold ground early on in the game. Let's see if he can outshoot the combination of the Plague Champion as well as the Chaos Space Marine supported by Worship. Looks like they're actually doing pretty well to hold in that cover. We might see an early Bile Spewer upgrade as a way of quickly countering that multi-laser turret. Multi-laser turret now with 450 hit points, which I'm pretty sure is a recent change. Strike Squad right here, charging in, KillerJebus being very aggressive, but I think it could cost him monos and possibly even the life of his Bro Captain, being very, very brazen. We Are the Hammer was just activated, making them even tougher. Wow, is he going to wipe out that Strike Squad? He's pushing, or wipe out that Guardsman Squad. He pushes for it and actually does it. Very, very nice play by KillerJebus. Very good judgment in that engagement. I was questioning it, but he made it work. Anyway, now we have dual Chaos Space Marines forcing melee. I wonder if we'll see... I actually thought we would have the Heretics do Worship right there to support the Chaos Space Marines. If anything, I think the Chaos Space Marines need to go back. They're still going for the multi-laser turret. They're really focusing on the multi-laser turret, but at least one squad is going to get focused down. The rest might get stomped. Alright, no stomp, but he threatened it just by approaching. And we have an early 2-0 cap and possibly even a triple for the red team, although looks like KillerJebus moving into the middle. One thing that I noticed that's different, that's probably been giving the red team the advantage, is that right now they just have more squads out on the field. They had 9 units in addition to commanders to the 6 of the blue team, or well, 187 obviously lost his Heretics, but they just had more squads, so they might have had more field presence, and that might be the reason why they have now this triple cap. Anyway, we've got dueling turrets. We've got a Plague Champion turret set up right here, along with the Tarantula turret from the Techmarine. If we notice, the Plague Champion's turret has a much wider firing arc, but the Techmarine's turret, I believe, it definitely suppresses more quickly, and it might also just do more damage. Anyway, it's now just a fight for the blue team to regain their VPs. Havoc setting up in a pretty good position where they're suppressing most of those guardsmen. Let's see if the Sentinel will be so brazen as to try to rush past it. No way. So overall, guardsmen definitely getting pushed off in this particular engagement. And we actually now see 187 and KillerJebus doubling the left side. I think one of them, 187, had called out that he was getting doubled right here. A bunch of guardsmen go down, and interceptors also get stomped. At this point, I think KillerJebus and 187 combined should be able to finish off this multi-laser turret. We do have guardsmen from Torpid, or Praetorian Guard, trying to disrupt, trying to force things off. Looks like this Brother Captain, wow, he's got Purified Blades. That's the best warrior for the Brother Captain. Anyway, oh man, Interceptors really, now their Grey Knights are definitely overstaying their welcome. One model down for the Interceptors. Strike Squad charging in, still have all 3 of their models, but they can't have them for much longer. They're going to start getting hit really, really hard, especially if we have Sentinels in retreat, or we're going to have a Hammer of the Witches does take out a model for the Strike Squad. If anything, I think they're still lucky to get out of there with 2 out of their 3 models. Multi-laser turret setup. Wow, it's like at the maximum range. It actually looks like it's outside the firing arc. Does take out attack model. Ouch. Anyway, double Eternal Warcast Space Marines and a Plague Champion with his Bolter. That is some pretty serious early range fire from Chaos, and it's very, very durable, especially because he's constantly having them in green cover. He's supporting them with Warship. So this can be a tough, like, defensive line to break for the Plague Champion, and it's pretty strong in team games. It doesn't apply quite as much in 1v1, though. Purgation trying to fire their incinerators from heavy cover against a Sentinel, unfortunately, is not going to work out that well. And we have these 2 turrets holding up against each other. Well, it mostly appears to be the Space Marine turret that's actually shooting. So far, the heavy bolter turret from Cornholio hasn't actually done much since Broodwich hasn't actually dared to move forward into its firing arc. Instead, it's frequently Cornholio moving forward into the Tarantula turret's firing arc. So a little bit of holding up certainly a lot of holding up right here, but here is a flank from Praetorian Guard. And, I mean, this flank could possibly work out well. Unfortunately for Cornholio, he doesn't actually have much to complement that flank, because he doesn't really have much that can actually deal with the turret at the moment, which unfortunately is kind of his fault. So I think the flank still seems to be working out, since Praetorian Guards is actually managing to do it pretty much all by himself, although one of his guards and squads is getting low on health. He's going to want to get the cat a chance to do something like force melee the turret from behind, since that's going to be the quickest way to finish off that turret, but they're losing too much health, so ultimately an unsuccessful flank, I think. But can the Scout Squad go down? Alright, doesn't manage to finish off the Scout Squad, and now we have another flank here, this flank to go take out the multi-laser turret in the middle, this one only with 325 hit points. And we have undoubtedly a dead Sentinel for a Virus. Yep. Those interceptors just got way too close, so I imagine Virus probably got doubled while Praetorian was over here trying to flank that turret. And unfortunately, it was an unsuccessful flank. But here is a Chimera out for... No! That's not a Chimera, that's a Bane Wolf. What am I saying? That Bane Wolf needs to start doing something. It's right here. It's right next to some generators. It needs to start burning things down or corroding them down, whichever is more accurate. We have generators being purged by flames from the Purgation Squad right here, but now they're upgrading to Psy Cannons. And I guess upgrading to Psy Cannons because we do have a Bane Wolf out on the field that needs to be dealt with. Anyway, Stormtroopers right here, upgrading to the Assault Kit while in the middle of being shot, but they don't actually get to use it. One model goes down in retreat from the damage over time from the Plague Champion. Lots of blue team stuff right here. We have a new squad of Heretics as well as an autocannon now on the Chaos Havocs. And this Bane Wolf needs to be very, very careful if it wants to get out of here alive. Just took a crack grenade on rear armor and did almost 200 hit points of damage. Most of the damage that came after that. Wow, even the bolter damage is actually starting to whittle down the hit points of the Bane Wolf. Meanwhile, Blood Crusher out on the field for the Great Cornholio. Look at his army. It is quite large. If he can get the Plague Marines up here, combine it with the damage for the... Oh my god, Orbs of the Omnissiah hit both the Bane Wolf as well as the Blood Crusher. Bane Wolf goes down. Blood Crusher in a bit of trouble as well. So very... Oh my god, this is going to turn out to be an incredible play by Broodwich. A bit overextended, and also going to take out a Heretic squad as well, possibly. So that ended up being a very, very nice play by Broodwich. Single Orb of the Omnissiah hitting 2 vehicles, and a result converting into a kill on both of them is very, very powerful, a very, very strong play. Commissar Lord gets revived. I feel like he's been down for a while, actually. And meanwhile, they're pushing against this turret again. And they're getting to the point where there's actually just too much stuff overwhelming the turret. And I feel like they should be able to finish it off. I wonder if... Yep, even just with the Techmarine occasionally taking shots, that turret is finally done. Alright, so turret's down for both players. Now we have Plasma Gun Guardsmen should be winning out against the Tax, except for the fact that the Tax are in cover while the Guardsmen are actually out in the open, so that's given the Tax the advantage. And now we have dual Tzeentch Chaos Space Marines for the Great Cornholio. Extremely powerful range fire. Took out a model from the Assault Marines. I think lucky to still get out of there with 3 models and the Sergeant intact, but we saw just how quickly that damage went down. Hell Fury Strike to kill some Guardsmen, and they get killed to death right there. There's way too much stuff. Crazy game already. VP's actually pretty seriously in favor of the red team, though. Just realized it in response to what the chat said. And now it's a single cap for the red, and it looks like they're about to get both their natural as well as the contested. Blue team taking their own natural, though, but they're going to need to get another VP, so they need to move fast out into the middle. Luckily, I think they're in a pretty nice position, having eliminated a lot of Virus's forces. So Virus is now a bit under strength, so overall the red team, some of their members looking slightly thin, although both teams actually do have the exact same number of units, even including commanders. Dual Chaos Space Marines right here have their Aspiring Champion, but they do not have a mark upgrade, and he might be doing that intentionally. The Aspiring Champion does have, the Chaos Space Marines rather, have a new ability when you get an Aspiring Champion, but no mark. It's called Slaughter. It actually increases their damage for a period of time, and they can even switch to melee weapons during that time. Anyway, Assault Marines jumping in on Tzeentch Chaos Space Marines, so Tzeentch Chaos Space Marines are running out of there. This is looking to be a successful counter-offensive by Broodwich, except for the fact that he lost his Techmarine. I imagine we'll see a Plasma Cannon shot. Needs to be careful of friendly fire. Plasma Cannon not shooting? It's charging up now, probably going to hit the... Yeah, hit the Plague Marines, I knew it. And this Sentinel, now in a bit of trouble, appears to be slowed by something. I'm not even sure what, but it looks like it was slowed. Assault Kit Stormtroopers rushing in. What are they doing? Oh, they're going for a grenade, and I was wondering why they're doing that, because otherwise, rushing in with Assault Kit Stormtroopers is not the way to use them. It's kind of counterintuitive because they're called Assault Kit Stormtroopers, but they really aren't an assault unit. Quite the opposite. They're a much more defensive, campy unit that you want to keep at maximum range, and that's really the best way to use them. Keep them at maximum range since they have better than standard range. I think this Plague Champion will be able to get in here. He's got too much health. Manages to punch and take out that lead Plasma Cannon Devastator.
An ally's Techmarine has been returned to his base.
Alright, Grey Knights moving back out. We've got a Strike Squad with 4 models at nearly level 3. And we have a Grey Knight Dreadnought coming. Grey Knight Dreadnought now. We take a look at that thing. It's got a heavy bolter, can upgrade to a variety of weapons. The fantastic Inferno Cannon Dreadnought, I believe, has even been buffed. So hopefully he'll get an Inferno Cannon Dreadnought. I think even the Plasma Cannon Dreadnought was buffed as well. We'll see. Heavy bolter Dreadnought is sufficient, of course. Anyway, Space Marines now moving to the middle. I do feel that for much of this game, Broodwich has mostly been playing in the top lane, and actually it appears like he's going to continue doing that. Here comes the Heavy Bolter Dreadnought making its move. Interceptors leading the charge, throwing a Psych Out grenade, as well as, oh, and there is another Hell Fury Strike. Can that finish off the Guardsman? Comes pretty close to it. Need to be careful now with the heavy weapon team, but actually I think it will be fine. And the Commissar Lord is in here causing all sorts of trouble. Heavy Bolter Dreadnought now in a bit of trouble, taking shots from the Sentinel Missile Launcher as well as that autocannon heavy weapon team, and it's now at less than half of its hit points. Commissar Flare goes down to reduce the range of the support because 187 is bringing in support. And Imperial Abyss already! I didn't even realize we were that far into the game. It's tier 3? I did not even notice. And wow, and was that more of Virus' stuff? Virus getting hit really, really hard. Can he lose his guardsmen on retreat? I think lucky to keep them alive. They're still getting shot at. That was really, really close. So with all that confusion, and I mean that's kind of an expensive, and a very expensive nuke just to kill like one squad, but he did force them off the field, and they're saying, gosh, yeah, I don't think they were expecting it either. That really took me by surprise, probably really took them by surprise. Here is an infiltrated Inquisitor. She does have the Interrogator's armor, which grants her the Silently ability, and she can choose to infiltrate any targeted squad. I believe it's only targeted squad. I don't think you can use it on vehicles, but otherwise any squad. So you can use it on Catachans, Guardsmen. It's most commonly used on Ogrins and the Inquisitor herself. Commissar Lord now fully kitted out, Bionic Eye, Stubbornness, and the Xenos Power Claw. Commissar Lord, Praetorian, or Torpid, still in Tier 2. Wow, his Commissar is just charging in, but he's going to have to move back, taking some shots from the Purgation Squad. And we have autocannons firing on autocannons. Purgation's taking too much damage. Here are some executed Guardsmen. Alright. Double Eternal Warcast Space Marines, I feel, might be walking into a meat grinder right here, but there is that Slaughter ability. Slaughter on both of them. Look like it's actually going to do some work, and it just might take out the Sentinel. Close to it, they're chasing, and there it goes. Sentinel down. Probably also had some support from Broodwich here, finally coming a bit into the middle. So those double unmarked Chaos Space Marines with Slaughter actually proven to be pretty good. I think it really is. It's hard to tell because I'm commentating on like really just one use that I've seen here. I've used the ability once or twice myself, but it does seem to really be improving the value of just getting an aspiring champion with no mark. Alright, Assault Marines in here, but up against way too much stuff. Yeah, use the Assault Leap to get out of there because there are Terminators here. Even if those are ranged Terminators, I'm pretty sure they're still going to beat Assault Marines in melee. Interceptors get knocked down, undoubtedly, by the Aura of Decay ability from the Plague Champion. Some airdropped Commissar Mines. But Red Team still with the lead in VPs, 444 to 99 now, and it's a 1-to-1 cap. Chaos Predator out for, this is 187 so far with no mark, getting the Mark of Nurgle, very interesting. Or, you know, I've been seeing that Mark of Nurgle Predator a lot these days, generally as an anti-infantry purchase, since that is pretty much the intention of the Nurgle tank. It doesn't do as much anti-vehicle damage, although it does still do some. And it does a lot of things like damage over time. Anyway, it looks like I thought I saw a las cannon fire. Yes, we have a las cannon. Here is Slaughter again on both Chaos Space Marines. We haven't seen them actually close in for melee with that, though, since they also have an ability where they can switch to melee weapons. Hell Fury Strike, I think, going to finish off the heavy weapon team. Man, Virus really looking thin. But now he's got a Bane Blade. Red Team still managing to control the middle. Chaos Predator is getting hit by las cannons, but the las cannon goes down. And here is an orbital bombardment. Orbital bombardment hitting one behind. Ooh, that is not a good orbital, to be honest. Actually, it's not that bad, but should have had one directly on the shrine to take out the shrine. As it is, he really just killed a few models, a few Chaos Space Marine models, a few Heretic models. But, I mean, one of the reasons, if you're going to use a nuke, one of the reasons to use a nuke is actually to dislodge these defensive buildings that can really have one team hold an area for most of the game. I think he will take it out anyway, courtesy of this Predator, which is actually doing it very, very slowly. But could have been done with that nuke itself. Anyway, here's the Baneblade, and Baneblade is about to get hit by a crack grenade, but it still just might take out this Predator. Predator is moving forward, and I think a Nurgle... Whoa, look at how much damage this thing is taking. What is it taking damage from? Can't even tell. But it took a lot of damage. Oh, the autocannon Havoc. And now it's at practically half of its health. It can get some repairs, and I think, yeah, this new heavy weapon team, or actually, I don't know if this one's that new, but this heavy weapon team should open up or start setting up behind. Here is a Noxious Cloud, gonna take out one squad of guardsmen. Can make it two? No, not gonna make it two, but it did take out one squad of guardsmen and another one of viruses. Unfortunately, whenever I look at some kind of Imperial Guard unit dying, it usually belongs to Virus and not Torpid. Although it looks like Torpid has lost stuff as well, because he definitely had a Sentinel at some point, and looks like his Sentinel is dead. So maybe I'm being unfair. Anyway, Green Knight Dreadnought even has the grenade launcher upgrade. The grenade launcher, it's a top-mounted weapon, as we can see, and it's... I mean, one of the reasons I think people get this upgrade is because you can get it without actually changing the main weapon. It's like a secondary weapon, so it's added additionally. Although its performance does not appear to be either that good or just not very noticeable. Anyway, we have a Rogue Captain way behind enemy lines right here, and probably going to go down. So much range fire on retreat, but he's so tough that he doesn't. Anyway, Assault Marines jumping in. They're jumping into a little too much stuff, though, and we have a touch of Nurgle. Assault Marines now in a huge amount of trouble, but those aren't actually Assault Marines. Those are Vanguard veterans. Vanguard veterans about to get messed up, though. And Techmarine definitely going to go down on retreat. Touch of Nurgle Heretics, so powerful. And unless these Stern Guards have a... and they shall know no fear, yeah, they should not be engaging those Chaos Forces at the moment. So, very nice use of Touch of Nurgle by the great Cornholio. Good timing, good decision and judgment for when to use it, and he actually made a lot out of it. So, Space Marine Predator for Broodwich, taking some missile hits. He's either got to back it up or bring up some support to repair it. His Techmarine is down because now he's taken 3 missile hits uncontested. I think he's just trying to whittle down the Plague Marine so that they have to retreat. But so far that's not favoring the Predator, and now the Predator will be dead in 3 missile hits. So it's moving back, gonna need some support. Techmarine has been revived. They're probably gonna go for some repairs. Luckily the Predator is out of range of the Plague Marines, and Cornholio gives up the chase. Anyway, we have a great unclean one now out for Mr. 187. Looks like he's lost a lot of stuff. A Demolisher Cannon about to hit KillerJebus pretty hard, I think. Oh, but it appeared to be canceled, possibly because the Baneblade had to move back, and the Baneblade not looking in such a great position now. It's kind of cornered because there are Imperial Guard bunkers in its escape path, so he's really gonna, well, basically hope to force off all the Grey Knights before they can take it off. And now that's going to be a Demolisher Cannon and some Commissar Mines. I think he's mainly actually going to want to focus on the Great Unclean one, but now there's also a Predator in here that's going to take shots. I think this is going to be a dead Baneblade from Virus. Yes, it is. Main Score Strike going in. Can it finish off the Grey Knight Dreadnought? Oh, so close. I think if even... Oh, no. Yeah, that Grey Knight Dreadnought is going to get out of there alive. A very, very close call. Dead Baneblade. The whole husk is still there. And close calls with... Oh, but apparently the Manticore is down. Did not see that. Must have been all of these units rushing forward and actually just going for the Manticore. So, Torpid and Virus both looking very, very thin right now. And I think this... Yeah, that Predator's going to go down. Unfortunately, keeping it out there and in play with just really not too many hit points. So, risky business, and he did end up paying for it. Man, what is he doing? He is being very, very oppressive. KillerJebus. This Brother Captain, really, really tough. I'd say he's one of the best of the tanky melee heroes. He's one of the best at just outright tanking. Doesn't quite have the melee disruption of other heroes. But just when it comes to just outright tanking, I think that might really be like his specialty, although there's certainly a lot of other good ones. Meanwhile, he does have the Holy Armor of Titan ability, which does give him an additional 400 health and even allows him to become invulnerable for a short period of time, although it is a very short period of time. Still, it's time when he's not going to die, or even take damage. New Predator out for 187. No marks so far, but, I mean, even an unmarked Predator, that single cannon shot taking out 3 of the models on those Stormtroopers. Even an unmarked Predator, or even an unupgraded Space Marine Predator is a very powerful thing, and a lot of times it actually is a good idea to just put out a Predator out on the field, not get any upgrades yet, or not getting any upgrades immediately so that you can prioritize getting out more units or more squads. Because still an unupgraded Predator is still going to do a lot of work for you. Plasma Cannon Shot goes in, but the Devastators need to get out of there. Level 3, but taking a lot of damage. Here is some kind of call-in. I bet that's a Venerable Dreadnought, and in fact it is. Venerable Dread dropping right in front of some Ogrins. Ogrins, yeah, well, I was just going to say, they thought better of trying to deal with that Venerable Dreadnought, but then I find them charging back in. They keep going back in, maybe trying to bait out the Emperor's Fist, but ultimately just taking too much damage. There goes the Emperor's Fist, and one dead Ogrin model. And here goes the Venerable in, trying to go now for this Land Raider Phobos from the Great Cornholio. Venerable Dread appears to be in trouble because it has been snared, but so is the Land Raider Phobos, getting hit by crack grenades, possibly getting hit by, well, mainly crack grenades. I was also wondering if there was a Techmarine in there with an Orb of the Omnissiah. Where is that Techmarine? Techmarine, oh, maybe he did throw an Orb of the Omnissiah and then he had to get out of there. Not enough to follow up on that Land Raider Phobos, though. Meanwhile, Heavy Bolter Grey Knight Dreadnought actually doing pretty well. I actually really like the way Jebus is using this Heavy Bolter Dreadnought, and in fact I would say in general I like the way he's playing. He seems to be playing very, very well. He's really keeping this Grey Knight Dreadnought at range. It's just sitting here very unthreatened, but doing a lot of damage. Anyway, ooh, here are some sneaky Stormtroopers, possibly going to finish off the Dreadnought. Broodwich does not notice, reacting too slowly, so he's going to lose the Venerable Dreadnought. And these Stormtroopers left just a little too unchallenged. Maybe use the Shotgun Blast to disrupt those. Use the Shotgun Blast to disrupt those Stormtroopers, because as it is, oh, all right, now he uses it, and he loses the Scouts. And I don't know if this Grey Knight Dreadnought is going to get out of here alive, so that actually ended up being a pretty good engagement overall. Wow. What a play. But now I think he's overstaying his welcome. I didn't even realize that he had upgraded to melee. I wonder if he upgraded to melee just to save the Dreadnought. Because, I mean, if so, it's like a very smart play. It, of course, is a big commitment. Getting that upgrade to save the Dreadnought, because even though he was using the Heavy Bolter, he was really making use of the Heavy Bolter. Keeping the Dreadnought alive, even if having to pay extra resources, is probably more worth it than losing the Dreadnought, especially since right now KillerJebus does not appear to be in a strong position to get out a new unit. Anyway, a wall of range fire from the Great Cornholio, but he's been losing a lot of stuff. He pretty much only has his ranged units left. He's got the Plague Marines, which are level 3. Now they're getting hit by marked target. That's going to hurt a lot. But Plague Marines are so tough that it didn't bother them that much. Now, if Chaos Space Marines got hit by marked target and a plasma cannon, that would be absolutely ugly. As it is, oh my god, Double Zinj Chaos Space Marines, so incredibly powerful. Level 3 and level 4. And here is the Las Cannon Predator from 187, taking more shots. Even the Stormtroopers are now even trying to... Oh, they're going for that Chaos Predator. They did get a Melta Bomb, but they're not quite pursuing. They need something to stop these Stormtroopers. Need to keep moving it back, or just hope for the Las Cannon to give Stormtrooper models, so that the Stormtroopers aren't going to be doing much. Only 2 of those Stormtrooper models left. Anyway, I think the Chaos Space Marines are in a little bit of trouble. They are tough. They are level 4. Here is an Imperial Abyss on top of the Leman Russ, and I think the Guardsmen are in trouble as well, because if they go back, they're going to have to go through an Imperial Abyss. Meanwhile, they might just be lucky. 12 hit points, and they don't get out of there alive. I think he was trying to give them a better retreat path, and it's a smart idea, but ultimately they just took too much fire from the ranged Chaos Space Marines. And they went down. So Virus, oh, that was Virus's again, losing another squad of Chaos Space Marines. This is a painful game for Virus. Anyway, these are Tzeentch Chaos Space Marines. Ouch. Oh, and I love the aggressive use of the Armor of Pestilence. I mean, normally the Plague Champion is, of course, a defensive hero. The Armor of Pestilence is a defensive war gear because it makes him even slower. But, I mean, he's charging in, and he's actually using that to knock down a squad. It's actually very, very nice. And, oh my god, Tzeentch Chaos Space Marines taking a huge amount of damage. He's going for the kill. Can he finish it off? Doesn't quite get it. Very, very close. Doesn't quite get it, but very, very close call. He's really got to not leave these Tzeentch Chaos Space Marines in here against the Vanguard Veterans. The Vanguard Veterans don't even lose a model. Very well played by Broodwich. Aggressive level 4 Vanguard Veterans. So we're seeing a lot of leveled squads in this game. And, I mean, once they're leveled, they're going to be doing a huge amount of damage. Stormtroopers, not in a good position. We have double Melta Stormtroopers, which is interesting. Certainly is going to make it hard for the blue team to, or it can make it hard for the blue team to let a vehicle survive long enough. So we're not seeing too many vehicles from the blue team. Mainly this Grey Knight Dreadnought, now level 4. Very, very well played by KillerJebus, and KillerJebus getting some late Stormtroopers because he doesn't have anything to repair his Grey Knight Dreadnought, which is level 4. KillerJebus with every single one of his squads at level 4. He's also got a level 9 Grey Knight Dreadnought. Man, he must be doing a lot of killing. Now, it looks like some of the other players also have leveled squads as well, but they also lost many of their other squads. Got some Terminators out for Broodwich. They have the Cyclone Missile Launcher, which I think is a great upgrade, since it gives you just another dimension to how you can use your Terminators. You get a long-range ability, crowd control, and anti-vehicle. We're seeing it go right now. Look at the range. The range is absolutely massive for that thing. There was actually a time when that was just not a very commonly used upgrade at all. Another Imperial Abyss. This one pretty much missing, so and a rather unfortunate Imperial Abyss right there. Completely dodged by 187 and Broodwich, although KillerJebus seems to be getting a few Purgation squads stuck in them. I think this Great Unclean one is going to go down for 187. Pretty sure this is not his original Great Unclean one, and this one, it's undoubtedly dead. So Great Unclean one goes down for him. And here's another Great Unclean one, this for the Great Cornholio. This one doing a bit better. Has worship support from heretics that are worshiping right here. Oh my god, Manticore strikes on lots of stuff. Alright, the Leman Russ now in a little bit of trouble, but not too much. It did get hit by a crack grenade, but I don't think the follow-up to it is going to be strong enough to take it out, especially with 2 bunkers here. I imagine one's a repair bunker, and one is a med bunker, or it's neither one. They both have 500 hit points, but it is getting repaired. So, one of those... No, it's getting repaired by guardsmen at the moment. And I wonder if these purifiers can actually finish it off. Looks like they can't do enough damage to repair through both the damage reduction of the Leman Russ. They're trying really, really hard, and they actually manage it. I mean, we saw how difficult it was for them, though. There was the repairs coming from the guardsmen, as well as the defensive benefit of the Leman Russ having 35% reduced damage. Terminators not looking so good. One model goes down. Plasma cannon shots going in on the Great Unclean one, but we have a Manticore strike going in, absolutely destroying. There's another Cyclone Missile Launcher barrage, knocking down a few Chaos Space Marines. And Stern Guard Veterans getting horribly horribly outshot by dual Zinch Chaos Space Marines. One model goes down in retreat. And where is the orbital bombardment? Orbital bombardment is definitely going to take out at least one of these buildings, if not both. I'm going to take out the heavy weapon team. It looks like it took out a guardsman squad as well. And I would have moved back that Manticore. Ooh, it looks like the Grey Knight Dreadnought finally went down. But 1-to-1 cap, and the red team is, well, they don't have quite the lead on it that they had before. Only 119-21 in their favor. Meanwhile, we have a Space Marine Librarian doing a force barrier the wrong way, apparently. Oh, man! One squad of stormtroopers getting just eaten alive by the warp. More Manticore strikes. Absolutely crazy in the late game. We have some Ogrins with Inspire Terror on them, or Inspire Determination, so that means we must have had, well, a Bionic Eye Execution. And took out a bunch of Chaos Space Marine models. Ogrins must be level... No, they're only level 2. Here is a rocket run. Oh. I thought my computer was freezing for a second. But no, that was the red team winning. Alright. Quite a game. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a good night.